How's it going today? My name's Charles, and you're in for a treat. Today I'm going to show you how to make meatball sandwiches. In the process, I'm also going to show you how to make spaghetti and meatballs, because part of the entree will be spaghetti. Sauce first. For spaghetti sauce, you have one medium-sized onion chopped up pretty good. You have 4 cloves of garlic, crushed oregano, 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, and 1 tablespoon of Nature's Best. You also have diced tomatoes. I like it with little green chilies, 2 cans of Hunt's tomato sauce, and of IGA mushrooms. Now, for the meatballs, you have 2 pounds of meat, 1 can of diced up mushrooms, 2 tablespoons of oregano, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of Nature's Best seasoning, and 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. I like a little zing. And right here we have 10 ounces of grated Parmesan cheese. That'll go over top of the meatball sandwiches. Oh, wait a minute. We have 4 loaves of French bread to make the sandwiches. Start the water for the spaghetti. We're going to put a little olive oil in the frying pan. Turn it on. This is going to be for spaghetti sauce. You add the onions, or the onion and garlic in. I like to get them pretty golden brown before I make the sauce. That's good enough. Just go ahead and stir these up a little bit. And while this is starting to cook, we'll start with the meat sauce, or the meatballs. It's very important to make sure your hands are clean before you work with food. You don't want to get anybody sick or contaminate the food in any way. Now we're going to add all the ingredients, mushrooms, and everything. I also prefer using lean hamburger meat when I make them. And if you're not into so much garlic or mushrooms, you don't have to use it. I just love the flavor of them. Alright. Give these a stir. Cooking nicely. Turn it down just a wee bit. And we're going to add the rest of the spices to this. And the mushrooms, which have been drained. We'll add diced tomatoes. Two cans of tomato sauce. Mix it thoroughly. We'll put that on low and let's simmer. And I usually cover this stuff up with a screen, so when it starts boiling, it won't make a mess all over the place. I forgot was tomato paste. Now what I do is open up both ends and then just push it through. Like wrap the lid out, mix it together. Give that a little bit. And sometimes you can get a little messy, so I usually keep a rag or handy. Rotate the meatball.
You don't need to have your whole body in the view, or maybe just your upper body cooking.
Yep. These are coming along very nicely. I always add just a little bit of olive oil to keep the spaghetti from sticking together. And this should all be done about the same time. And as I cook, I usually taste test to make sure I don't want to add anything else. But this is a pretty good recipe as it is. Perfect. Now is a perfect time to preheat your oven, because what you're going to wind up doing is baking the sandwiches so the cheese is melted. Okay. I usually set it for 350 degrees. Now is also a perfect time to slice your French bread. You don't want to slice it all the way through, just about half, 3/4 of the way. If you slice it all the way through, you can still eat it, of course, but you can't really get the cheese properly done. Unfortunately, I only had enough matzo ball sandwiches for 3 of them. But what I will do is make garlic bread out of this last one, which I will cut all the way through. Not enough. Garlic bread's pretty easy. Just butter your bread, sprinkle it with garlic powder, and you'll be good to go. I usually keep it pretty heavy on the butter.
Yeah, go.
Just add your garlic salt. Or powder if you're on a salt-free diet. I love garlic. So I'm pretty liberal with it. You can also buy a garlic bread butter, so. It's looking like our meatballs are doing pretty good. I'm going to cut one in half just to take a look to make sure it is so. You notice there's no pink. Get pretty close. So that is a finished meatball. Now what we'll do, fill the sandwiches up with meatballs. Give this a final stir, and I like to get as close as I can to the work. I usually go to start at the furthest one. So if you drip stuff, if you drip any on the others, it really doesn't matter. Now with your Parmesan, I like to be pretty liberal with it. I like cheese, so. Now you don't have to add the cheese or the spaghetti sauce, but I like it that way. Some people just use ketchup. Put this bad boy in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes and it'll be good to go. We'll keep an eyeball on it, of course, till the cheese is really melted. Okay. See how our spaghetti's doing? Now the best way to check spaghetti besides tasting is to throw it against the wall. If it sticks, it's done. But my wife doesn't like me doing that, so I won't. They've been in there for about 15 minutes and they're looking pretty good. These are 14-inch sandwiches. Nobody's going to eat a full one by themselves, so I'm going to cut them in half. All right, that's good.
That's a sandwich.